Already, you know it. Top everything, you know it. King already, you know it. My body soul got a king body. Body gon' shine, bling bling body. Calling all the shots, ring.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tashana. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for coming. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about sleep paralysis. It is something I experienced a couple years ago. I used to experience it very frequently. I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I did, why I stopped experiencing it, what I did each time to get out of it, all of that. So this is my second time filming this intro. In my first intro, I actually said I wasn't going to share with you guys what I really believed because there are two explanations for it. I was trying as best as possible to not give my personal opinion on what I actually felt it was, but it's kind of hard to tell the story just because of how I overcame it without saying what I believed it was. So I'm just going to share a disclaimer if it is that you are sensitive to certain topics. I didn't talk about anything too graphic, but just so you're not watching and you're easily triggered or anything like that, you might just not want to watch this video. Alright, so what is sleep paralysis? I'm going to give you the physical, scientific, natural explanation for it, and then I'm going to tell you guys what it is that on the spiritual side, what it is that other people believe. Paralysis is a temporary inability to move that occurs right after falling asleep or waking up. Individuals remain aware during episodes, which frequently involve troubling hallucinations and a sensation of suffocation. Also said in some of the research that I've done, it happens when you don't have the best sleeping habits. So you have poor sleeping habits, you go to bed super late, stuff like that. If it is that you're extremely tired or you sleep on your back, stuff like that, those are reasons as to why it happens to you. And the spiritual side, some persons believe that it's actually a demonic force holding you down, attacking you while you are asleep. Some people believe that if it happens to you, somebody else sent spirits to attack you and they're attacking you while you're asleep. I had a boyfriend and I was doing a lot of late nights. Like I would go to his house like in the middle of the night, stuff like that. Like after parties, I was doing a lot of parties, young and doing life. I was living life. Okay, so when it came onto the physical side, that could have been the reason, but the reason I came out of it, I'm going to say just off the fact that what I had to do to come out of it, I'm going to say I believe it was strictly spiritual for me. So if it is that you're experiencing it, it might not be spiritual for you, but for me, I'm going to say it was a spiritual attack for me, just because of how I got out of it, and just because I know I wasn't living the best life spiritually. And once I changed that, that's how I really ended up stop having episodes. Okay, when I went to sleep, I started visioning. It wasn't a dream. I was up. In the scientific explanation, they said people have hallucinations, which is not dreaming. I'm going to say it was more so like a vision or an out of body experience, just because I know it wasn't a dream. I've never had a dream like that before. Okay, so I started seeing pitch black around me, and there was a small light in the middle of me, and I was walking towards that light. Every time I walked towards the light, every step that I made, the light was getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it felt very evil, like the presence, you know, when something just feels heavy, that's how it felt. And I just know something was up, it wasn't right. It just never seemed right to me. But at the time, my son was a baby, so in my head I could hear him, even though he was asleep, I could hear him saying like, "Mommy, why are you going towards the darkness? Where are you going?" That's when I was like super alert now. I was just like, this feels very off, this feels very evil. And once I came to that realization that it was abnormal, I was trying to get up. So that's when I started feeling like it got violent, like something holding me down and pushing me back down into bed. I couldn't move. I started struggling now. This when I really started struggling. Then I started trying to get up, and I felt like this ball of energy, like very strong force in my belly button, and it was coming up, and then it got to my head, and then I felt like my head was about to explode. And something said to me like, call on the name of Jesus. And it's very strange because at the time I wasn't going to church, like I said, and I was very far from God. So I don't know how that even came to me. And then I started calling on the name of Jesus. And then that's how I woke up. When I woke up, I was terrified because I've never had that experience before. And I started crying. And then I turned the radio to 1 FM, that's a gospel station in Jamaica. And I turned the radio on to that and was just like listening to gospel or anything that I could, like clear the air, get like the house cleansed or anything like that. The lady on there praying gave out a number, and she said if you want to get prayed for or if you have any prayer requests, you can call this number. So in the morning I called the number that was on there, and when I called, I told her my experience, like what I was experiencing, and she was just like, do you go to church? And I was like, I used to go to church but I don't anymore. And she was like, somebody's in your life. And when she said that, anybody is Caribbean, if somebody says somebody's in your life, you know what that means. So I think I asked her what she meant. She said like somebody is trying to do something to me and I should start going to church and get somebody to pray for me and all of that. So the next Sunday I went back to church, and I remember feeling like just relieved to going now every Sunday and getting persons to pray for me. I shared my experience because, you know, when you go back to church for a long time, they ask you like why you started coming back to church. My experience was I was having these awful attacks during my sleep, and that's why I started coming back to church. I remember somebody came up to me and was just like, continue calling on the name of Jesus whenever it happens to you. And somebody said to me like they experienced the same thing, and that's how they got out of it, by calling on the name of Jesus and all of that. So what worked for me was calling on the name of Jesus. It happened a couple times after that. I wasn't completely done with it. It happened for a couple times after that, and then every time it happened to me, I just tried to relax and call on the name of Jesus and just know that the devil cannot overcome God and all of that. So sharing my experience, I believe it was more so spiritual than anything else for me. Like I said, this is how I overcame it. If it is that you're experiencing that, if you look it up, it's called sleep paralysis. Better sleep patterns and all of that, change your sleep pattern and whatever. So if you can do those kind of stuff to overcome it, do that. The other side, if you're a Christian, it doesn't hurt to call on the name of Jesus. Just in case it is indeed spiritual, it couldn't hurt to call on the name of Jesus. Yeah, so I didn't really want to like put that out there and make it be like, oh, I'm telling you, but that's what worked for me. Let me know down in the comments if you have ever experienced sleep paralysis and how it is that you got out of it. Let me know if you know anyone that experiences it, and let me know what your experience was, how you got out of it. Do you even still experience it? Feel free to leave that down in the comment section. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.